Hi there, I am Joel, and here are 3 reasons why I find the spooky space kook terrifying. But first, if you're new to Scooby-Doo, or you just need a refresher, let's cut to what we kind of already know about the spooky space kook. Welcome everyone, I am Undercover Detective Chicken Shawarma, and welcome to this press release. We're just going to go over what we currently know about the spooky space kook. So on August 11th, we had our first sightings of this kook's spaceship. People, of course, were concerned. We're a farming town. We were worried about crop circles, but fortunately, none of that has happened thus far. Then in September, I believe it was September 12th, we heard our first visible or audio signs of the space kook. We heard this famous laugh. You've all heard it by now. People initially thought it was a kookaburra, but we are in America and kookaburra is limited to Australia. And then people might have thought it was just a prank, but no, we've heard many accounts of this. And the laughter is kooky and spooky, hence the spooky space kook. And then in the October season, it was October 16th, we had our first signs of the space kook, as you can see from the board behind me. Very, very kooky, spooky looking skeleton, sort of skull in an astronaut suit. You're all familiar with it. You've all seen the headlines. And we had reports of the space kook wandering around in fields. At first, we thought this was just a Halloween prank, given the season, but now that we're in November, December, we're still seeing signs. Farmers are selling their properties because they're frightened. And of course, our town really depends on the crops, especially the bok choy. Bok choy's, the harvest is coming up soon, and farmers are worried about crop circles and other. What else? How is this going to escalate with the space kook is what's going on. But I assure you, do not worry. Bok choy season will be saved. In fact, I think by the end of this week we'll have this kook caught. We're close. We're close to catching the spooky space kook. So I now open up the press release up for questions. I would also like to note that the farmers of our town do have a $2,000 reward for the spooky space kook. First question, yes, the man in the white hat. Why, yes, my name is Homer Pipsqueak, ace reporter for SPAD. My question to you, good detective, is have you investigated the footprints, the glowing footprints, even further? I'm really glad you asked that question. Yes, we've sent the residue from the footprints and fingerprints that we've spotted, and it's a mixture of lead and some sort of uranium isotope. Perfectly safe, comes from the ground, it's all natural. Your kids can play with it, no problem, won't cause any issues. In fact, on certain, where it's been near bok choy, we've noticed an extreme growth of bok choy, just like uranium made those ants, those gigantic ants in that 50s incident we had with the giant ants back in California in the 50s. And what the issues they have in Japan with Godzilla, makes lizards big. Uranium, it's good for you. Next, any other questions? Next question. Have you tried following the spaceship or the footprints to anywhere? Do they lead to anywhere? Yes, we have followed the UFO, the unidentified flying object, and it sort of ends right around the abandoned airfield. We've also followed the footprints, and they kind of go towards that direction as well. We've noticed some fingerprints around the entrance too. Why, that is magnificent. I mean, an abandoned airfield, they could have used spare parts to build the spaceship. The footprints lead there. There's rumors that selling the abandoned airfield, which it's up for sale or it has already been sold, that land prices are going to be increasing as more infrastructure comes to the city, the famous bok choy city. It just means your criminal has to be there, and you're probably moments away from catching him. I don't know what kind of hat you're wearing there, Mr. Pipsqueak. I'm assuming it's tinfoil, because that's kind of like a very crackpot kind of theory going on. For one, we're not going to waste manpower searching an abandoned airfield because it's abandoned. Are there any other questions? Oh yes, Swampy Pete. I'll catch your spooky space kook, but I ain't put my neck on the line for $2,000 like the reward poster shows. No, sir. This spooky space kook is a dangerous man. I'll do it for $10,000. And for that you get the skull, the helmet, the whole darn spaceship. Thank you, Swampy Pete. We will take that into consideration. Mr. Creeper, do you have a question?
Papers!
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I bid you all farewell and adieu. What the Fermi Paradox means is, where the heck are they? And what that means is, why aren't aliens on Earth already? And what that kind of means is very layered. So, for example, the galaxy is huge. We know this. We know, science knows there are more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand on the Earth. We're talking about more stars than all the sand in the Sahara Desert, on the bottom of the ocean, and all the sand on the sunny beaches of Acapulco combined. That's a lot of sand. And that's a lot of stars, which means there's a lot of opportunity for life out there in the galaxy or in the universe. And furthermore, there are stars in our galaxy or universe that are billions of years older than our star, which means there's civilizations out there which have had over 1 billion years to figure out interstellar travel, which would make you think they'd be here already. Hence, the Fermi Paradox. Where the heck are they? Why aliens might not be here is the Finding Nemo principle. This isn't a real scientific principle. I'm just using it because everyone's seen Finding Nemo and you can kind of understand quickly what I mean by it. Trying to find Nemo in an ocean, it's pretty much impossible. There's other fish swimming around, Nemo is swimming around, and how do you pinpoint where Nemo is at any given time? How do you do that with planets? If you're looking at another planet from far away, it's likely to be thousands of light years away, so by the time you maybe teleport there, that planet might have moved. Like, we know the Earth revolves around the sun, and do we think the sun is stationary in our solar system? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think the galaxy is constantly expanding, and simultaneously it's contracting at the same time from what I'm told. So another reason why space terrifies me, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Another theory is that they are already here, just hidden among us. It could be like an alien, could be a bacteria or a virus, maybe. We don't know. Like, we think of aliens usually having a humanoid form, but perhaps they don't. Maybe they are a vapor or a gas of some sort. Maybe they're a plant life, or maybe they are hidden among humans like Crystal and Amber were in the Alien Invaders. There's a movie called They Live, and people had to wear special glasses to see the aliens. That could be a possibility. Another theory of why aliens aren't here on Earth is that life is just difficult in general to make. Like with Earth, it's just the perfect distance away from the sun. Some solar systems have 2 suns. Remember Star Wars, Tatooine had 2 suns. That just kind of makes life difficult because planets get too hot. You'd have to be the perfect distance away from that. And then we just had the right concoction just to make life on our planet, right? According to scientists. This is all according to science. There's other theories as well, and I'm just sticking with science, but it's just, yeah, we're all alone in the universe. It's just the only planet that life ever formed on. And that just makes our life here on Earth so precious. That's not a theory I believe, though. I think there's aliens out there. Another reason why aliens aren't here yet is that, of course, to tie in with the Finding Nemo principle, is that there's just too much vast distance between stars. The closest star from our solar system is called Proxima Centauri, and if you were traveling light speed, so that means traveling at the speed of light, that would take you 4.24 years. That also means anytime we look at that sun in the sky, we are seeing it from 4.24 years ago. Now, people, of course, have not mastered light speed on our planet, and if aliens on another planet have mastered it, well, we're pretty certain they don't live in Proxima Centauri, but aliens could live further away. But of course, light speed for many of these planets could be 1,000 years away, which if you're going that fast, it would just take forever for them to reach Earth or any other planet that had life. And just by comparison, if you were traveling rocket speed, so the same speed that it took for astronauts to hit the moon or get to the moon in the 60s, that would take somewhere between 40,000 and 60,000 years to reach the Proxima Centauri solar system. And then finally, if you're walking, I've read anywhere from 500 million to 1 billion years, and that is constantly walking as well at a certain pace, which means not stopping for coffee or donuts or snacks along your way or checking into an Airbnb on some distant asteroid that is on the way to that solar system. Another reasons why aliens haven't been here yet is just a lack of resources. It takes a lot of money to get a spaceship off the Earth, let alone to travel vast distances. And, if you're an alien traveling in a spaceship, how much energy do you have? It's very expensive, right? To keep energy on a spaceship. You'd have to master like a whole technological energy generator thing that we have not yet figured out. Like, you couldn't really rely on solar power because you're going to get far away enough from a sun where the light's not going to really generate energy, at least I think. And then are you going to be able to planet hop and find the resources you need to fuel your spaceship? I don't know. What makes this terrifying to me, though, is not only just the vastness of space, because I'm awake a lot at night just dreaming about or just thinking about how crazy space is. So that is terrifying to me. But there's also, it just seems civilization is hell-bent on destroying itself. At least ours is, right? There's constant wars. There's constant hatred going on. And if there's other civilizations out there like that too, would they want to destroy us? The hope is not. The hope is that we would live in like a Star Trek-y kind of friendly, for the most part, universe where there is no racism, sexism, every other kind of ism out there. We all get along. We all live in harmony. But what terrifies me is that might not be the case. Aliens out there might be like the aliens from the Alien movie, where their mission is just to breed using humans and to move on with their life, right? That would be terrifying. And that's kind of how I see a lot of aliens out there. I'm sure there are smarter aliens out there. But I think also, and this is another theory of why aliens haven't arrived, is that other civilizations might consider us a human zoo. They want to see, they're like watching us, but they want to see how we kind of evolve on our planet. So they don't want to go near us or influence us in any way. I kind of wish they would kind of influence us because they'd have like amazing technological advancements that would make our life hopefully improved. But, a guy can dream. And that's another theory. Before I get into reason number 3, a quick word from our sponsor, Scooboracle. Do you find yourself tossing and turning all night wondering how many Scooby snacks Scooby's eaten in Scooby-Doo Where Are You? Or how many episodes of Scooby-Doo have vampires in them? Well then, welcome to Scooboracle! It's a fully loaded stats machine. How many times has Shaggy said zoinks? Scooboracle! Which episode had Swampy Pete? Scooboracle! Which episode had Homer Pipsqueak? Scooboracle! Has the spooky space Kook appeared in any other episodes? Scooboracle! Here are some testimonials from famous people about Scooboracle! The Scooboracle is a great asset to our police department. For one, we've discovered so many clues that we've often ignored in the past. Evidence such as white grease paint on a weather balloon or a sheet with holes for eyes. And projectors. Who knew projectors could be used to project fake spirits? Why, hello there, I'm Professor Joel, and before I use the Scooboracle, I was super uncultured. I didn't even know what a biscotti was. And now I drive one. I'm Swampy Pete and I gotta pee. Homo Pipsqueak here. You might know me as ace reporter for SPAD or crack detective Homo Pipsqueak, as I'm more famously known. Anyway, I use the Scooboracle daily on a daily basis. I find that just researching it helps me solve my cases that much quicker.
Disclaimer: do not use Scooboracle 3 hours before going to bed. Scooboracle may cause drowsiness. Do not operate heavy machinery while using Scooboracle. Scooboracle is still a work in progress. Scooboracle is an HBO, Velma, free zone. Scooboracle will never ghost, gaslight or catfish you. Scooboracle will not make you invincible against pizza burns. We cannot guarantee that Scooboracle is an alien life form out to brainwash you. Do not provoke, taunt or stare at Scooboracle.
So another theory of mine that terrifies me about the spooky space kook is space madness. So what I'm saying here is that the spooky space kook was once a human who went into space and somehow he came back to Earth just a lunatic, just he went crazy. And this could happen for a couple of reasons. One being that when you're up in space, it gets really boring. I would imagine you're very alone, you're very isolated, you're maybe with one or two other people who you might not even like, and you have very little privacy, and you're stuck up there for years, and that's just enough to make someone go mad, right? You could go crazy just up there. And to fight that, I mean, it doesn't really happen in our world as that I'm aware of, because they keep astronauts very busy up there, and you know they're in constant contact with other people through video and whatnot. You know, they can speak to loved ones, but I imagine in other instances that might not be the case, and you would go crazy, and that just kind of frightens me. Just going crazy in general frightens me. Another reason why you might go mad is that, and this ties back to my past theory with the Fermi Paradox, that the universe is very vast and there's a lot about it we don't understand. But what if you're up there and you see something that your mind cannot handle and you just go nuts over it? You just become a lunatic. That could happen. That's a possibility. Or what if you get hit with some radioactive solar rays that just changes your DNA and you go crazy as well? That could happen. There's a movie from, I think, 1998, 1999. It's called Event Horizon, and it kind of explores the theory of people going into the event horizon of a black hole. That's the point of a black hole where light cannot escape. So what a black hole is it's a sun that's kind of reached its end life and it starts collapsing on itself. You go from this gigantic sun and you kind of collapse it down to 16 kilometers diameter. It's just this very kind of dense energy ball that just sucks in everything. And there's some theories that these could be wormholes where if you go into a black hole, you might pop it somewhere else. Wormhole wouldn't really help, or a black hole wouldn't really help us out, because on Earth, the closest black hole is something like 3,000 to 6,000 light years away. So to reach that, we'd have to travel 6,000 or 3,000 years at the speed of light. And, you know, that's not really possible. Hey there, it is Editing Joel, and I just wanted to touch upon or clarify the whole wormhole travel deal I'm currently talking about in the video. And that is why wormholes are kind of important versus light speed. With light speed, it's pretty difficult to imagine a human going light speed. Going faster than the speed of sound is tough enough because you're going, you know, you've seen Maverick, that movie sequel to Top Gun, where, you know, you go so fast you start to pass out. Light speed of sound is just a fraction of the speed as light, you know. So another issue with just going light speed too is just stopping. If you're traveling at like such a high velocity for a human body, sure, that might be possible, but when you stop, chances are if you stop too fast, your organs are just going to fly out of your skeleton or your body or your chest cavity. It's not good. So to get around this and to speed up time travel too, say you have like our two stars here. We have Earth and then you have Proxima Centauri. So you have the sun for Earth, Proxima Centauri. They are currently 4.24 light years away. We know the closest black hole is about 6,000 light years away. So just imagine we have a light, maybe a black hole or some sort of wormhole we can use in between. And when you have that black hole wormhole thing going on, time, remember Einstein said time is relative? Well, that's what kind of happens at the event horizon. Time is relative. If you're looking at someone going into the event horizon, it might take 100 years to see him or her fully go through and get sucked into that black hole. But for them, it's just normal time. So I'm throwing a lot of lingo at you here. But anyway, getting back to this. You've seen this in movies. A scientist will get a piece of paper, they'll have two X's, and then to signify time or space travel, they'll say, well, what if we could fold the piece of paper and then just kind of go through the X's because they match up and just go that way.
Papers!
Take it! Getting back to the event horizon, in this movie, they go in it and they go crazy because they're seeing all this stuff. And the movie kind of cheapens out because the event horizon becomes a porthole to hell, which, it's okay. It's just not as science fiction-y as I would have expected. But yeah, that's my theory number 2. Spooky space kook, man who went up to space, came back crazy. I'm Swampy Pete and I'm out here in this abandoned airfield looking for the spooky space kook. Those fools, they wouldn't pay me that $10,000, but I'm still going after that $2,000 reward money. In case I don't get it, I'm being paid by Planet Scooby to say a few words. I have no idea what any of this means, but hopefully you do. So first thing, make sure you hit that like button if you like this video and you want to see some more. It just encourages Planet Scooby to make more videos. Also hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss these videos, and subscriptions, I guess they help you see them. Also that little bell button, hit that thing too. And finally, leave a comment if you like this video or just want to be kind. I know it's tough to think of things to leave, so maybe write something like I break for the spooky space kook if you don't know what to write. Anyway, enough from that. I think I'm done here. I'm going to get back to looking for the space kook. How was that? Was that good? Can I get paid now? Good. I want to get the heck out of here. These alien things, they creep me out. My final theory, and this is my personal theory, and if you have any theories, leave them below in the comments, but my final theory is that the spooky space kook was once an astronaut. It could be a human astronaut or an astronaut from another civilization, from another planet. And I'm thinking, he was fixing a shuttle outside and he just got unmoored from the, you have those like bungee lines connecting you so you can get back to the spaceship. And I'm thinking he got disconnected and the shuttle couldn't get him back and he just floated away. And after some time, he's either going to die from lack of oxygen or lack of power, keeping him warm. Space is very cold, and you need, heat to keep your body temperature up to keep you warm. But yeah, he died, and then he maybe ran into some sort of like parasitic alien life form, maybe that infected him and reanimated him, or there's some sort of radiation, or maybe some sort of bacteria that glowed in the dark. And I'm thinking something that glows in the dark, like radiation glows, right? Or some certain bacteria glow in the dark. And I'm thinking that because he leaves, those glow-in-the-dark footprints or those glow-in-the-dark smudges on things. So that's why I'm kind of thinking bacteria, radiation, but it could be a parasite too, or the bacteria could be some sort of parasite. It doesn't even have to be, like I said, a human astronaut. It could be an alien humanoid from another planet that's been floating for 1 billion years and just kind of like crash landed into Earth, and he's just angry, whether human or not, because he was left to die. And, he doesn't have his full mental capacity. He's invaded Earth and he's just hell-bent on just destroying our planet. And that is my final theory of why the spooky space kook terrifies the heck out of me. And there are my 3 reasons why the spooky space kook terrifies me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like, subscribe, whatever you feel like. Anyway, until next time, stay spooky.